of the belly, across the model. Sorry. We're continuing our journey to paint this Space Marine captain using only the provided brush and paints in this box set, the secret level Space Marine paint set. We're trying to replicate the box art, and that's what we've got so far. So right now, the conundrum is we're running out of brush. This is our Citadel Starter Brush. Has a little bit of a tip left on it, but not much. Just simply failing us. So today, I think we've got to do some edge highlighting before we run out of brush tip. The remaining stuff to complete are edge highlights. We've got to mix up a silver somehow. I've already solved this problem previously on the tubing on the face here. We've got to create some yellow somehow out of these paints in order to do the tilt shield. And we've got to do some freehanding on the cape, the tilt shield, and for the chapter symbols. Looks like he's an ultramarine, so we'll be ultramarining it. And I think that'll be it. The heads are magnetized as shown in previous videos in this series. And at the end of this, I'm going to be raffling off this Space Marine and the remaining paint set, but not the brush because it's going to be busted up and I'm licking it a lot. But we're going to raffle off the Space Marine, the paint set, to someone for a local charity, TBD. I just mowed the lawn, so there's still some grass stains on my fingers. So sorry about that. As always, I'm using a glove so I can paint on myself a little bit, test the consistency of the paint, and stop from touching the model, because every time I do touch my models before I varnish them, paint rubs off of them. So I don't know what the deal with that is. I'm just unlucky in that way. So thanks a lot for joining me, folks. Please like this video and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 50 subscribers in order to be able to live stream on YouTube, which is one of my goals for the channel. Otherwise, thanks a lot. We'll get started right away. So for the edge highlighting, it may not be super obvious, but we're going to start with Macragge Blue because that's what the armor for Ultramarines is. Next, the only light color we have, Wraithbone. Now, we need to mix a slightly brighter color than what we have. So I'm taking some of the Macragge Blue, some of our Wraithbone, mixing it in. I'm going to do about a 2-to-1 mix to start off with. We're going to edge highlight this several times if we can. 1, 2, 1. The actual consistency of this matters very little, even across an army, to be honest. As long as you're using relatively similar colors, it's going to look just fine, especially at army size. So I've been pretty bad about being able to record my painting here, so I'm going to try really hard to do it. We're going to start with the tilt shield and just see how this goes. So with edge highlighting, you want to be using, as you might have guessed, the edge of your brush. You thought I was talking about the edge of the model. Well, I am. But also I'm talking about the edge of my brush. So we're not using the point of the brush. We're taking the brush and just running the flat kind of edge of the belly. So some of this is going to be a little wonky. I'm just going to accept that for now and go back and fix it if I need to. I focus on the top facing edges mostly. True heavy metal would edge highlight around the entire model, or at least the traditional heavy metal would. And I don't know that I have the brush stamina for that at this point. I use a very light touch with a lot of this. Try Try to get a very thin covering. It's not going to be perfect. Even if I have my good brushes, I'm not a perfect edge highlighter, to be totally honest. It's something I need to continually work on, and we will work on that later on. But right now, hopefully you guys can see what I'm up to here. It's working, it's working. So we're undoubtedly, because of the way you have to hold your brush to edge highlight, I'm gonna tap some of the surfaces I don't want to tap. But guess what? It's okay, we can go and repaint them. We're going to survive. So some of these shots are gonna be really terrible. I apologize, as always. I'm not a filmographer. I'm barely even a painter. I want the exact right consistency for edge highlighting. It needs to flow off the brush fairly easily. Be a relatively diluted consistency. It's like 2-to-1 water. This brush is toast, so we're gonna do what we can. We can correct a little bit of it later. All right, continuing to edge down the leg here. It's okay if this edge highlight is a little thicker, because we're gonna do one stage higher as well. I think heavy metal typically uses 3 to 4, but they also use more paints than we're using, frankly. It's a little too much there. See how fat I got? That's too much. So I'm gonna take just some straight up McCrag blue. We're gonna correct that. And that's the thing with this. You can just fix it. Don't be afraid to fix it. Just go in there and get it. This usually takes me about an hour per marine at this point. I'm a little out of practice, but that's about how long it takes me. Again, you can see how chunky this is going on. That's absolutely an error. We're failing, but we're failing in the name of trying to record this for you guys, so I don't know. I find these edges on the backpack to be quite tricky. If you've got the head on here already, doesn't matter because it's basically impossible to reach. But without the head on here, we can reach it pretty well, which is good and bad for us. Man, that's really sloppy. The backpack is a very difficult thing to highlight, in my opinion. There's a lot of kind of soft edges on it, like the edge running along this piece right here where it bends, which they highlight very well in a way that I think is cool looking, but which I find super difficult. I'm gonna try to do it now though. You can see it's looking pretty chunky and choppy, but I'll come back and fix it. Sometimes you can get 2 edges at once when they run parallel like that. A little bit of a cheat. Okay, well, I think that's it for pass 1 on the edge highlights. Pass 2 is now an equal mix. McCrag blue with Wraithbone. Same relative hue, right? But the value is much higher. We're going to try to retrace our steps with an ice-loaded brush. Let's see how this goes. Style. All right, now, is this the cleanest edge highlighting of all time? Obviously no. Is it some of the edge highlighting of all time? Definitely yes. So I think we've achieved basically what we set out to do with the edge highlights. Here's the Marine with his helmet on. Starting to look like a space marine. So next, we're going to go ahead and tackle what I think is going to be the next most difficult part. We're going to try to make yellow.